Citizen to a citizen, fool. Citizen to a citizen, fool.
Another one.
True to life.
And now, our feature presentation.
Pause, yeah.
All right. Welcome back, citizens, to another episode of
Pause.
Yeah, so I've been trying not to follow this story, what's going on in Israel and Hamas and all the fighting that started on October 7th. It's a sad thing, you know, a lot of lives lost senselessly. I mean, from what I know, what I understand, bits and pieces, you know, this is a war that's been going on for hundreds of years, and this particular plan of attack has been in the works for about 2 years. So I'm not going into detail about that. What I wanted to kind of cover is the story that I came across. It was a story on Israelis arming themselves and getting buying pistols and getting training. So let me roll in the clip here.
This week we have been hitting the streets of Israel to talk with Israelis about how they are coping with the war and the aftermath of that horrific terror attack. And we found that for some people, drastic times call for drastic measures. The attacks of October the 7th have left Israelis with a deep sense of vulnerability. Until now, the threat of terrorism had come mostly from the skies or on the streets from a lone attacker. But the horror of hundreds of terrorists seething across the border and slaughtering people in their homes has fundamentally changed the Israeli mindset. What are they doing in response? Follow me. A shooting range is not among the landmarks that immediately come to mind when you think of Jerusalem. But since the terror attacks, Yair Yifrak's gun shop and shooting range has been slammed by people looking for protection. Since October the 7th, how much has business increased? How many people have been coming in?
In this week, I'm here 23 years here in this place. I have another place in Jerusalem. I'm never don't see like this. I would say the people come like this massa. No way. It's unbelievable what happened.
Yair, what are people telling you when you speak to them when they come into the shop to look at a weapon?
We are want to protect ourselves. We are need a gun. We are not believe that it's happening in Israel. We are need to be safe. We are not want to fight with anybody.
But if somebody tries to kill you,
I need to kill him. Also in the Bible, if I come to kill you, you need to kill me before. It's real.
are people buying weapons because they had always believed that the Israeli army and the police would protect them?
We are not huge like America, not 340 million. We are small army, small police. And the people think that yes, we have an army, we have a police. But now he understand that he need to care to himself, to his family, so he need to buy a gun.
Yair, did the way Israelis think fundamentally change on October 7th?
Absolutely, yes. I talk with the people. I spoke here, and I see here people that's coming. That's before a few months. Yeah, for what we need gun? No gun. We don't need. Now you want a gun? Why? The mind is changed 1,000 times. It's changed.
Compared to the U.S., in Israel, gun ownership is still pretty rare, and obtaining a firearm is a long process of licensing, which includes lengthy interviews with police, instruction, and training. Of a population of 9.6 million, only 160,000 civilians own guns. But the Interior Ministry is expediting the process because of increased threats against Jews. The Grotsky family lives in a village in the West Bank. Aharon has had a gun for a while now. Gabrielle recently obtained his permit. Layla just applied for one. You have just applied for a permit for a firearm. Why did you think it was important to get protection?
I also always wanted, I've been putting it off for a while, new job, new apartment, whatever. And after that Saturday, it just became very obvious that I need to be able to protect myself, my family, my community.
When you heard about what happened, what went through your mind in that regard?
Complete catastrophe. I can't imagine what those people went through, but the stories that I've heard of people that did have guns and protection in the house did protect so many lives.
Okay, so, great story, shocking numbers. There's 9 million people that live over there, and only 160,000 people that own firearms. So they're relaxing the laws and the process. Not the laws. It's against the law. You can't own a firearm there unless you go through a certain process. And it's a strict one, and it's territorial. Depends on where you live. Wherever you live, you've had to have been a resident there for 3 years. Then you have to provide a reason why you need a firearm, and typically the ones that get approved is if you're in security or police or some sort of profession that requires you to have a firearm, unless there's a huge reason that has to be reviewed by not only the police, but some members of the military also look at your application, and it's a lengthy process. Well, they're lightening those rules, and people are getting armed, and it's all because of not the air attacks and not the major ground attacks, but the terrorists that are inside these cities, and they're going into the homes and they're committing these atrocities. So basically what's happening here in the United States, for the most part, we are, for the most part, somewhat prepared for things like that. Not all of us, but hey, that's by choice. It's our Second Amendment right to go ahead and bear arms. If you don't take advantage of that, then that's on you. But we have some politicians that they want to restrict those rights in some way or form. Head politician coming up.
A hobby horse of mine for a long time. Got it done once. We should also ban assault weapons and high-capacity magazines in this country. For that 10 years we had it done, the number of mass shootings actually went down. Even law enforcement officials have told me and told other champions of this legislation, they sometimes feel outgunned by assault weapons with large capacity magazines. There's no reason someone needs a weapon of war with 100 rounds, 100 bullets.
Bullshit? A bullshit? A bullshit.
That can be fired from that weapon. Nobody needs that.
Yeah, so he doesn't believe that we need 100-round magazines or high-capacity magazines. Really, they're normal capacity magazines. A 30-round magazine, that's normal. 15-round magazine, let me show clear. Clear. That's normal. Extended base pads, I think they're wanting to go after. Same thing here. So clear. They want to go over these +2s, +3s, +5s, and things like that. And it's kind of it's kind of crazy to think, especially with the footage, and I'll roll in some of that footage, but what we see happening.
Okay, in the meantime, we have some disturbing ring camera video that shows a group of robbery suspects forcing a homeowner to unlock his front door at gunpoint. Police say the North Carolina homeowner was approached by 5 armed men as he was returning home. One of the robbers hit the victim on the head with a gun. Money, a cell phone, and unspecified drugs were taken from the home. Police are using this video to help find the robber.
You know, when somebody's invading your home, it's typically not one person. It's 2, 3 people, and then somebody in the car. And between the 4 of those people, they can have over 500 rounds, right? You know, so why would you want to limit us? I mean, you said it yourself, or he said it himself. You know, the police feel outgunned. I think that's a bogus statement, considering that police walk around with the same equipment that a normal civilian would have. So if they feel outgunned, I mean, if that's how they really feel, let's go ahead and look into another profession, or go ahead and arm yourself a little bit better. I mean, this is what you signed up for. No knock on the police if this is a true statement by the police. I think this is just hearsay from our current president. But I mean, all that to say, you know, if you don't know anything about guns, don't let untrained people tell you about guns and tell you what you need and what you don't need. A lot of people that don't have firearms, it's out of lack of knowledge and an immense fear that's been imposed upon them from people who are lobbying to go ahead and alter the Second Amendment or take it away altogether. They never show you the good side of how guns have saved people's lives, and it's kind of hypocritical that, you know, we're saying, you know, take away these rights, but we're shipping guns, ammo, and troops over to other countries to help them because they can't fight for themselves.
So, think about that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again.